let's dive into one of the oldest and honestly one of the most relatable family dramas ever recorded. Seriously, this is a story with all the goods. High stakes, broken trust, a secret escape in the middle of the night, and the messy, messy business of drawing a final line in the sand.
I mean, when you boil it all down, that's exactly what this story is about. It comes to us from the book of Genesis, sure, but the themes? They're as modern as it gets. We're talking about a toxic work environment, a bitter fight over who earned what, and a guy who finally decides he's had enough of his manipulative boss, who just so happens to be his father-in-law.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Jacob has been working for his father-in-law, Laban, for 20 years. 20! But this whole partnership is not ending with a gold watch and a farewell party. Oh no. The relationship has gone completely sour. It's toxic.
Jacob starts to feel it. You know that feeling when the vibe just shifts? The text says he noticed that Laban's attitude toward him was not what it had been. That welcome mat has been pulled right out from under him. All that trust? Gone. Now every look, every word is dripping with suspicion and hostility. So what happened?
And here's where it gets juicy. We find out who's been fanning the flames. It's Laban's own sons. They're whispering poison in their father's ear, spinning this story that Jacob's success isn't from his own hard work or, a blessing from God. Nope, they're saying he stole it. This family rumor mill is turning tension into outright hatred.
Right when the pressure is about to blow the whole thing apart, Jacob gets the sign he's been waiting for. A message from God. And this changes everything. It's not just a gut feeling anymore. It's not just a desire to leave. This is a direct command, and it gives Jacob the final push, the absolute certainty he needs to make a break for it.
So, with things at home being totally unbearable and a divine green light to go, Jacob knows he can't just put in his 2 weeks' notice. The only way out is to run. And this next part of the story, it plays out like a straight-up thriller.
Now, this was no spur-of-the-moment decision. Jacob has a plan, and it's a smart one. First, he calls his wives, Rachel and Leah, Laban's own daughters, out to the fields, away from any spies. Then he lays it all out for them. He reminds them how their dad has cheated him over and over, changing his wages 10 times, and how God has had his back the whole time. And then he drops the bombshell. It's time to go. Now. And this is just huge. His wives are 100% on his side. Their response shows just how deeply they feel betrayed too. They feel like their own father treated them like property, selling them off and then blowing through the money. Their support is total. They tell him, do whatever God has told you.
But as they're making their escape, Rachel does something that is going to pour gasoline on this whole fire. She secretly steals her father's household gods. Now, these weren't just little statues. They were a huge deal, kind of like a title deed to the family inheritance. And Jacob has no idea she's done it. This one secret act just turned their escape into a major crime.
The consequences? Oh, they are swift and they are furious. Jacob gets a 3-day head start, but as soon as Laban finds out they're gone, and more importantly, that his precious gods are missing, he completely loses it. He rounds up his relatives and launches an all-out, desperate chase.
This timeline just shows you the pure intensity of it all. For 7 straight days, Laban and his crew are tracking Jacob across the countryside. The tension is just building and building until they finally corner him and his entire caravan in the hills of Gilead. A confrontation is coming, and it's going to be bad.
But just as Laban is about to unleash all his rage, something incredible happens. The night before he catches up to Jacob, God shows up in his dream with this really strange, chilling warning. Don't threaten him, but don't bless him either. Basically, God is telling him, you can talk to him, but you can't touch him. So Laban knows he can't actually harm Jacob, but that's not going to stop him from confronting him.
And here is the climax of the story. You have these 2 camps pitched against each other in the hills. Laban storms over to Jacob's tent, absolutely furious, ready for the showdown, and the accusations just start flying.
Laban just unloads on him. He accuses Jacob of being a liar, of kidnapping his own daughters like they're prisoners of war. But the real accusation, the one that's got him so fired up, is the theft. Why did you steal my gods? And Jacob, remember, is standing there completely baffled. He has no idea what Laban is even talking about.
So the search begins, and it is frantic. Laban tears through the entire camp. He's in Jacob's tent, then Leah's, then the servants' tents. Nothing, nothing, nothing. You can feel the tension just ratcheting up. There's only one place left to look.
Laban goes into Rachel's tent, and there she is, sitting on a camel's saddle, looking totally calm. The stolen gods? They're hidden right underneath her. And she uses this incredibly clever excuse, a major cultural taboo, to keep her father from asking her to move. He searches the entire tent, but he doesn't dare touch her. The search is a total bust.
So Laban has found nothing. His big accusation falls flat. And now, after being chased across the country and falsely accused, now it's Jacob's turn. And this one number just hangs in the air. 20. 20 years of his life. 20 years of service, of being taken advantage of.
And Jacob finally lets loose. All the pent-up frustration from 2 decades just comes pouring out. "What is my crime?" he shouts. He lays out his entire resume. 14 years for the daughters, 6 years for the flocks, all the broken promises, the 10 times Laban changed his wages. It's this powerful, raw, and completely justified explosion of truth.
After Jacob's outbursts, you can almost feel the air go out at the fight. Laban's got nothing. Jacob said his piece. They both know they can't go back. They can't fix this, but they can separate. And they decide to make that separation official. And they do this by making something called a covenant. Now, this isn't just a simple handshake. In the ancient world, a covenant was a sacred pact. Think of it like a formal treaty, a binding contract with God as the official witness, designed to set clear rules and boundaries.
And here are the terms of their family divorce, basically. They pile up a heap of stones to be a physical marker, a border. They both swear an oath. I won't cross this line to hurt you, and you won't cross it to hurt me. Laban gets one last demand in. Jacob has to treat his daughters well. It's an agreement not about friendship, but about staying out of each other's way. A permanent line is drawn in stone.
After one last meal together, Laban says his goodbyes and heads home. And Jacob continues on his own way. Their chapter together is officially over. And it leaves you with this final thought, doesn't it? When we have to end a difficult, maybe even a toxic relationship, aren't we doing the same thing? Building our own little heap of stones, setting a boundary, and making a quiet pact to never, ever cross it again?